Right, hello, this is another video on how to do a new artist. I'll share my screen. It is this one here, who is a serial artist. And the nice thing about it is you can have your objects at the top here changing. So depending on what that person is thinking about, you can put it in there. I really don't think you should think about a fish, but it's a good one for doing like depression or whatever. You can have a little rain cloud or a knife or something like that. Anything wanted to show what this rather surreal, which is like a dreamlike image, the person's actually thinking about. So I'll stop sharing that and start sharing my Photoshop. Okay, cool. So you've taken the picture and you want the background to be as plain as possible. So with the screen, because we'll be copying this background over the top of this, and we want that to be as simple as possible so it's easy to copy across. What we're going to be doing first is we're going to be going up and making a new layer at the top here. And on that new layer, we're going to draw the oval over the top, which is going to be the inside of his head. All right. Now, just like the artist model, it's black and white, makes things look easier. You go down to this one, which is the shape tools. I'm going to choose the ellipse tool. Up the top here is the color that you're going to fill it in with. So like the artist model, we can choose a color in there. Let's choose kind of reedy color and make it dark, like we've chopped open their head. There you go, that'll be cool. And so that's all done. All right, cool. So now what we're going to do is, and because we're doing a separate layer, we can move it around later, or we can do all kinds of things to it. But we're going to drag an ellipse across here. We can change the shape later, so you don't have to worry about it. And what happens is that will fill it in. So this is the one that we want, the fill in, and want the stroke to have this line through it, so it's not going to have a stroke, which is the outline. All right, so we're going to have that up here. Now we can move that around with the move tool. We can take it up, take it down further. Maybe you want it at the bottom of the head here, so we're cutting off all his ears altogether, and we're just going to have them like that part of this head chopped off. All right. What you tend to do is the lower you have it, the more it looks like more realistic, because you're seeing down inside of his head. Right, cool. So that's stage one. So then what we're doing, you hit the tick up here, and when you're happy with it, a separate layer, we can move it later. Then we're going back onto our background layer. Now the tool that we're going to use here for the to copy the background over this head so he rubs out is called the clone stamp tool. Now it's a little bit hard because it's got keyboard buttons they have to push here, so I'll talk you through that. And so what happens is number one, you want to go up to here and you want to make it pretty big. So you can see it's pretty big by that size, and you want the hardness all the way down to 0, so it's a nice soft edge. All right, that's number one. Number two, on your actual thing here, what you're doing is you are holding down the Alt key. All right, so alternative key, the Alt key, you're holding that down, and this little icon turns up here. Then you're pushing the left mouse button, and you're dragging while holding down the Alt, and you're dragging off to one side. Then what it's going to do is, you can see it does a little preview. It's going to copy that background, and a little cross will turn up here showing you what that's going to do, and it will copy that background over the top of it. So if you've got a slight texture in here, it will actually copy all that texture, copy all that color, so it looks exactly like the background. So here we go, going over the top of it. You could probably just faintly see that little cross on your I can hardly see it on here at all. And so it's copying that part there over onto here. Now, if you want to change that, you just go a different direction, and it's now got copying up from the top there down. And so what you're doing is you're rubbing in behind your little, it's gone too far. See, I've started copying that part there onto here. So all you do is do the same thing again, Alt, drag it in a different direction, and then I'm copying that part down here. And then it looks amazing. Up here, I'll start copying the top there. So I'm going Alt, doing it that direction. And it copies all that background exactly over to where it was. And there is the top of his head quite literally come off, which looks pretty cool. Okay, cool. So then what you're doing is, because one of these photos is yours, you're able to get a picture off the internet. You might have a fish there if you wanted a fish, or you could have something else, but you want to have that something to do with your meaning. And I really don't think a fish is going to have anything to do with your meaning unless your whole board's about fish. So thank you. And that's it.